Hey everybody, today we are here at Dezerland in Orlando, Florida, and it is a huge car collection in here, and we're about to pay the admission and go in and take a look and see what they have here. So stay tuned. Start with, here's a little Ford Roadster, still got a flathead engine in it, so they got 2 carburetors on it. And just beside this much older Ford here, I don't know exactly what this would be right here. I guess could predate 1920, I guess. There's a little Roadster with the fenders removed. I think they call these high boys. And here's a little Ford pickup truck. Well, that one looks really good to me. I like that one. Got the wheels that match the paint color on it. These are all roped off, so I can't go around them. Here's like an early 50s Chevy pickup truck. Here's an SSR, which most people are familiar with. These are not that old. But here's an old Nash, and I don't know what model that would be. I do like the color that's on this car though. Now the front fenders come down over that front tire. I guess they called this streamlined back in the day. A little silver Volkswagen Beetle. But what makes this unusual is actually pulling a trailer that has a motorcycle or a moped of some type in it there. Here's a little car that's made up look like Lightning McQueen. I don't know what kind of car it is. It could be like a Dodge Stealth or something like that. And here's I guess a Hudson Hornet right here beside of it. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Volkswagen bus that says Flower Power on it right here. And it even has eyelashes I can see, but it's really good paint. Of course, everybody knows about the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. Well, take a look at this car. It's got 2 front driving wheels and a bubble canopy on top for the passengers. I don't know if this was actually a real drivable car or used for a movie or what. It's got a Rolls Royce grill on it there. Picture here, I guess Thunderbirds are go. Maybe that was a movie because it says it's in Technicolor. I guess you would call this a carrot car that Bugs Bunny is driving here. That's a little different there. Here's a little Mercedes here. This like it was set up for street racing or something. This next car is from The League with Sean Connery, and I actually remember this movie and remember this car. I think I only watched it one time when it came out, but that thing's huge. This oversized car here has a head of James Dean on it here. And the next one, I guess this is Marilyn Monroe here on the front. It is like a, I guess, mid-50s Cadillac, and then the rest of it has some heavy modification on it there. Here's a 1957 Mercury, which was the Indianapolis pace car back in 57, and it is a convertible there, as you can see. This is a really clean surviving car. This is a Duesenberg, and it would have been a luxury car back in the day. It looks like a luxury car even still today. I mean, it's really, really fancy. I like it. And here's one of those retractable top Fords. I think it's like a 58 or 59 model where the roof actually lifts up and sits down into the trunk area. And it looks like Elvis is driving this one. Here's another one with the Elvis theme. The front bumper actually says Elvis, and you can see the headlights are made to look like sunglasses. And it has a crown there on the front for, I guess, the hood ornament. But it says Elvis on the side there. It's got music notes, I see. Look at those fins. It's really something. There's a track style motorcycle here sitting next to it. few Volkswagens over here they got in the corner. This Renault, which you can tell how small it is compared to the old Plymouth sitting over there across from it. A couple more Volkswagens in this area over here. And here's actually a Jeep. Here's an old Ford. I'm not sure what these are cars. Got a wood frame on it here. And I was told they used to use these type of cars years ago to railroad to pick people up and take them to their hotels. Because you could put the luggage back here in the back. I'm about to enter a room that says welcome to the 20s. I think that this museum is actually broken up by different decades, and I think they have like different areas like for movie cars and things like that. But I'm about to go into the 20s room right here. We got, I guess, some of the earlier models on display right here. And here's a 1929 Model A Ford. I guess this is just like the Bonnie and Clyde car that's got all the bullet holes in it here. Let me read the placard here. Well, the placard I was reading here just talks about how the Model A replaced the Model T. But as you can see up on the wall, they have the Bonnie and Clyde poster. And I think their life ended in a shootout with police somehow. And I guess it was a car similar to this one, maybe. Here's Laurel and Hardy. I guess you would call this old jalopy back in the day. Look at all the old fire extinguishers they have on the wall back here. It says this is a 1924 Packard. It says this is a replica of a 1905 Clement. And I'm not familiar with that name at all, so I don't even know if I've ever heard that name before. This is a 1916 Ford, and it's set beside this 1931 Chevrolet Coupe. The old advertising back in the day, it says, buy your wife a Ford. Okay, I'm about to go into another room that says, welcome to the 30s. This is a 1930 Chevrolet.
You know what I mean? Don't go look it up on YouTube.
Okay, I don't know what this car is, but it still has wood wheels on it. And I notice it has a straight 8 engine in there. And I asked a couple other guys in here if they knew what it was. They had no idea either. The hub has like a S on it, but I don't know if that would have stood for Studebaker if they even made cars back in that period of time. Here's a collection of old Johnson boat motors. Evinrude, Neptune. So it's not just the cars in here. They have a collection of everything. I think these little motors are neat. This is a 1949 Pinion boat with trailer, if I'm saying that correctly. But it is, you can see a wood boat. And this one looks like maybe from the 50s, 60s maybe. Got a lot of boat models in here. This next room says, welcome to the Cars of the Stars. Here is a Tucker. And they weren't very many of these built, but they were an amazing car. And if you haven't seen the movie Tucker, you should. It's really a good movie. But let me show you something really interesting if you don't already know about this car. This car has 3 headlights. There's one in the center. And as you can see, it's turned to one side right now, the same way that the wheels are turned. And I'm glad they displayed it like that where you can see. But when you would go to make a turn, the light in the center would actually shine over into the direction you were about to go to, which is really a good idea. I think that never caught on car that was used in the Christmas movie, The Grinch. I like that movie. And here's the Green Hornet car. This is Christine, and it says this is a screen used car. So this car actually appears in the movie Christine, if you ever seen that, about the killer car. So Plymouth Fury. Here's another mystery machine from Scooby-Doo, which we saw one out front. I think I like this one better. I'll have to take another look at the one out front when I leave today. I am in the Dukes of Hazzard area. So we have a Hazzard County Sheriff's car. And there's Dixie's car, the Jeep that she drove in a few of the episodes. I think she drove a maybe a older Charger or Challenger in the later episodes. But here, of course, is the General Lee. Okay, now here is the longest car in the world. It is 100 feet long. And I guess if you need a limo, this is your ride. I guess this car could go straight, but it would be very difficult to turn, I would say. Look inside one of the sections here. And as you can see, it's got a, I guess a hot tub back here in the back and a helicopter pad. Don't let me leave out the little putting green back here. Here's a sign that says the Cult of Vespa. So I guess these are all Vespa scooters in here. He does have definitely an assortment here. And look, Vespa makes a little car too. Here's something interesting. This is a little electric car from years past. The year model, I think, is 1979, but I actually knew a guy that had one of these. And the guy who owned it also ran a starter and alternator shop, so he knew a lot about alternators and things. But he actually come back here on the back on this base, and he mounted a Briggs & Stratton engine and an alternator, and he would start that Briggs & Stratton, and it would charge the car as he was driving it. Now in this room is a lot of foreign cars. I'm not familiar with most. I do know about the Izetta here that opens up in the front, which is, I guess you would say it's a cute little feature, but they are very popular for collectors, I think. Really tiny cars. And here's some more space age looking cars back here on this back wall. Front tag on these say William. They actually look like little tiny postal trucks. And this name here, I'm not even going to attempt to say it. This one I think would be Mako. Look at that. It's like a little miniaturized Jeep thing or something in a way. A little 2-passenger vehicle. Looks like it's 3-wheel, but there's someone sitting in the back seat. You can see there's the front seat and the driving, where the driver sits, and the steering wheel looks like an airplane wheel. It says it's a Fiat. These actually look like little go-kart frames with bodies on them there. They're so small. This room here is dedicated to Duesenbergs, so let's take a look at those. You know, that is a fancy car right there. It says this one is a 1927 Duesenberg Model X. Take a look at the old jukebox they've got sitting here. It's actually still in a wood case. Have a Duesenberg golf cart in here. And there's another jukebox over on behind it there. It's unusual shape. I'm outside the Duesenberg window right now, and I couldn't see it behind the Duesenberg. There's another jukebox there with a very unusual shape. If you can, no, I don't know if you can see it very well through the glare of the window there. Here's some select classic cars from a collection there. Levy collection. Here's a neat looking little sports car that I'm not familiar with. Not sure what this is. It looks kind of like a Studebaker in the front end. And it's because it is a Studebaker. Jukebox in here with this display. There's another jukebox. It's a Sebring, so I'm starting to think this guy likes cars and jukeboxes. I like this sports car better than the other two ribbons. There it gives it the Cobra look to it. Here's some type of coupe. See, Henry J. I thought it looked familiar. About to go into now says France. And this actually says a Woody right here on the front, and it does have wood panels there. The red one here is a 1930 model, and if you're familiar with that name, you know what it is there. Looks very similar to an old Ford, doesn't it? Is that called panhard or something? But this little car looks like it's sticking its tongue out at me here. Well, looks like this car's got a motorcycle style engine in the front there. SO gas can on the side of the running board there. Okay, this next room says Italy. This is a 91 Alfa Romeo, and I guess it's an Italian sports car. Okay, this next room says welcome to Russia. Okay, and I won't even attempt to pronounce that name. This is a 1954 Zim limousine. It actually looks a lot like one of the mid-50s American cars. Right here is a 1967 Volga. Now it says welcome to England. Look at this little sports car. Looks kind of like a dune buggy with cloth interior. Here's a 1947 Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce from a few years later. 1974 model, it says. And I don't know what this beige or khaki car is. But it's actually a Rolls Royce also, in 1991. You can tell when you see the front end, but from the back end, I didn't know what it was. The black one here is a Bentley. AMG from back in the day. I don't know what the little green one is. Old horse racing pinball machine in here. Here's a 1956 Berkeley. Here's another Bentley. That was really luxury in the day. And this is the opposite, I guess, of luxury. Look at what they use wood though, kind of like a woody, but they just use little wood strips on there. It's not actually part of the car structure, it doesn't look like. Looks like it's just attached over top of the metal. Here's another Rolls Royce. It says this is an Aero. I think they made trucks that might have made it over here. Okay, now I'm in the Germany section, and as you might guess, there's just Volkswagens of every type in here, which Volkswagens were made for a lot of years in the Bug. Here's a couple of little BMWs that open in front, like the Isetta. Opel. Haven't heard that name in a long time. Porsche 356, which were very popular for their handling and power, but they were actually just, so how should I say this? Volkswagens were actually designed by Porsche. One of these cars that open in the front. And here with the driver's seat, this one actually has a back seat also that faces backward, and the back hatch opens up so you can get into this one. This little Carmen Ghia convertible. They have these cars lined up in the aisle down through here, but there's not much information on them. It's a custom chair made of a Volkswagen. The Volkswagen things, which I always thought were kind of neat little cars, kind of utilitarian, I guess you'd call it. I've reached the cross point here, and it's got Cars of the Stars one way, Batcave, Military Pavilion, Great Gatsby's, Cars of England, and Chrysler Lounge. So I don't know which way to go right now. Got a little flatbed Volkswagen bus hauler that actually has a shortened Volkswagen on the back. Can't get over there to the little Volkswagen to show you how it actually looks, but you can tell it is much shorter. Here's a custom. It looks like a 57 Chevrolet here in the front. The back looks like maybe a 59 or 60 Chevy, the way those fins go down like that, or out like that, I guess I should say. Should be, I think, 59. And those taillights. It's a really clean car though. It's got a modern interior. And looks like a flip up front end there. Pedal cars here. There's even an old Good Humor ice cream bike over there. And look at the 57 Chevy, I guess scooter you'd call it over there with the steering wheel on it. Ferrari. Nice BMW, not very old or anything. There's still pretty new cars here. This is actually, I think it said a $200 million collection, so it's very extensive. Here's a dune buggy, it looks like. Dodge, they have hot rodded. Long one, I think it's a 57 Ford over there. Another Isetta here. And look, here's a Volkswagen Red Cross bus. Old Saab. This is an old Saab also. Check out the little Doodlebug convertible with all the little daisies on there. This definitely screams 60s and 70s for sure. Here's an old Austin, I think. Again, I think some of their trucks might have made it over here. But it looks like this was some type of taxi or something. It says for hire there on the meter, and I guess your luggage could go here. carousel horse sitting here, and there's an old weight machine. You'd put a penny in to get your weight. This is one of the Jeeps they used in the TV show Fantasy Island, if you're old enough to remember that TV show. Old movie called The Great Race, and these vehicles are from that, and it is a really old movie. I have saw it, but it's been several years. Stream says Cars of the Stars, so let's take a look inside there. We got a Ferrari here from the Miami Vice TV show, and if you grew up during the era I did, you remember the Mach 5 or Speed Racer. I thought that car was so cool on that cartoon. It said they actually make this Mach 5 out of a 1984 Corvette. Here's Tom Selleck's Ferrari from Magnum PI. There's Madonna. Breathless. Oh, that's a Dick Tracy movie. Yeah. And here's James Dean. Me here. Check this out. It's the Monkey Mobile. I know it at the time when I was a kid, but this supercharger on top here is actually a fake. It's just sitting on top of the engine. It's made out of a Pontiac GTO. I think Chuck Barris made it, but it's really neat. It's all about something that, if you ever saw a TV show, the guys were always broke, but somehow they had managed to afford this car. I think this was called the Coach Mobile on the Munsters TV show. Got 10 carburetors. I've never noticed that before. I think this was Grandpa's coffin on the Munsters. Here's the van that Mr. T used to drive on the 18. This is the Gadget Mobile from Inspector Gadget. If you remember Grease, is this the car that they were using when they were singing that song, Grease Lightning? There's a glass hood there where you can see the engine. There's a photo of Olivia Newton-John in the back there. Here's Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters. Here's Mr. Bean's little car here. Okay, and here's the van that was used in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. If you remember the scene where they were shooting at Spider-Man, I think, and it blasted the back of the van off. This is it. Here's the Indiana Jones collection of the vehicles that they used making the movies. And here's one from Shanghai Nights, which had Jackie Chan in it there. Says this car was from Mission Impossible 2. And the, I guess, hearse over there, you can see the Terminator standing there in front of it. Here's a Knight Rider, but it's a Kit convertible. I didn't know the Kit ever was a convertible. Here's Kit in the hardtop version. And this over here looks kind of like a Camaro in a way, the body shape, but it's actually a boat car. Here's a Soul Train. Here's Herbie the Love Bug in a couple different versions here. And here's a car that was used in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Starsky & Hutch Gran Torino. Here's a couple cars here in cars from RoboCop. This car here was used in Benjamin Buttons. And of course, everybody knows about the DeLorean from Back to the Future. Here's a couple cars that were used in the Fast and the Furious. And this Buick Grand National has seen better days. Okay, this is kind of the Gatsby room right here. I guess it's a lot of luxury cars from the Hollywood era of the 30s and 40s. This particular car is a Cadillac and it has a V12 in it, which that's a pretty big car to have to pull too. I don't know how heavy this car would be, but I'd say it's probably pretty significant. It's a 1941 Cadillac. There's an old Buick. And this is a Hupmobile. 1930 Buick. This is a 1929 LaSalle. Has a rumble seat in it there. This is a Buick probably from around the same era. Wow. Look how big that is back there. In the back, it looks like there's two more seats that actually can fold down from the back of the front seat. This one here is an Oldsmobile. This one is a Chrysler, and look, it still had the flip up windshields there during this period of time. Let fresh air in. Another big Buick right there. And this was a Chevrolet. And this is a 1939 Cadillac. This room here says it's the Chrysler Lounge. At first glance, it looks like most of the cars in here are from the 50s and 60s. Well, they had some fins back in the day, in the late 50s. Check out the steering wheel on this one right here, the way it's designed, and the push button transmission. Is that a stainless steel top? This big Chrysler Imperial right here, they've got the doors open. As you can see, it has the swivel seats that you can swivel to the side to make getting in and out a little bit easier. See, this one has the push button transmission also. Okay, this room I'm about to go into says muscle car. They got a 55 Chevrolet sitting here with a louvered hood, flame job on it there. And this is a custom, but I'm not familiar. I don't know what we've got going on here. Here's a Corvette. Is it a pace car edition? Yes, it is. There's a Firebird over there. I guess it's a Trans Am. Got a couple of early 70s Mustangs. I've seen several of these Econoline trucks over the years where they would put the engine in the bed and re-engineer it. Racing bug with Decision Time Race Shop advertised on the door there. And this is Subaru, but the back end looks like a Volkswagen, so I think they have did kind of like a Frankenstein's monster type deal here. It's a car from Monster Garage that I guess Jesse James built, but it's actually a limo that looks like they've turned into a firefighting vehicle or something. So I can see the fire hose and the hookups for the water lines there. Here's another custom. It looks like it was made out of maybe a 61 Chevrolet. Okay, now I'm about to enter the Batcave over here. Here's the Bat Cycle you'd see on Batman and Robin on occasionally. As you know, as the years have went on, there's been many variations of the Batmobile. This one says it's from the 1989 movie. Most of us know this one from the original TV show that made Batman so popular. And this one right here come from the 1995 movie. See the big bat wing on the back there? Another Bat Cycle, and behind it you can see the Bat Boat back there, which I know was used in the Batman movie they made, I guess, in the late 60s. They have a second Batmobile from the original TV series coming out of the Batcave. There, and I can see a Catwoman that's sitting up on top of the cave. More a car from the Gotham Police Department. This room here is the motorcycle room. There's Kawasaki with some type of chrome sidecar on it there, or stainless steel. This is the Auto Museum, but they do also have a pretty good collection of motorcycles in here as well. This is the Boss House series. You can see it's got a V8 car engine in there. Several Indian motorcycles here. Look at the little small one there. The tank on this little blue-green one here says Mustang Coat. That red one also says Mustang on the tank. Hondas over here. This is a little different right here. I don't know exactly what's going on, but they've got the engine back here in the back, like a Volkswagen would have. A few more Harley Davidsons over here. There's a Triumph. Cushman golf cart there. This is a 55 Ford in yellow and black. First saw this, I thought it was a checker cab, but it's actually a Chrysler. It was used as a taxi. This room says Main Street, USA. I'm about to enter into here. This first one is a 49 Chrysler Town and Country. And look how they use the wood on the side of it there. The original transportation over there with a horse and buggy. There's old Plymouth. a 54 Corvette. I think Corvette's first year was a 53. Beside that is a 62. I'm not sure the year model of this blue one here. Chrysler a while ago, that from the back I thought it was a checker cab, but this is a checker. Here's a 1960 Dodge Polara. Here's a Dodge Phoenix. Some pretty cool advertising too here on the wall. If you ever visit here and you have time, it's pretty neat just looking at the old ads that they have. A couple of Willis Jeeps there. Here's a Studebaker and a Fraser. Edsel Ranger. Here's an Edsel wagon. Well, yeah, there's 3 Edsels in a row here. Everybody's familiar with these little Mustang convertibles here. This jukebox where the music is actually coming out through this here. Pink Oldsmobile right there looks a whole lot like the old Cadillacs in 58. I guess this one's around a 60 or so Cadillac. This is a really nice car. It's a 57 Chevrolet Bel Air, and it's a 4-door, but it's a 4-door hardtop. There's no post in between the front door and back door. Here's a 59 Packard Caribbean. I don't remember seeing one of these before. This one is a DeSoto. Is that a Montclair? Would it be a Mercury? Yeah. But boy, it's big and purple. And what is this here? An Oldsmobile or something? It's a Buick. 54 Buick Skylark. There's no signage when you walk in, but this must be the Studebaker room right here. Hey, like that Studebaker Champ truck, you don't see those. They've repainted this one in like a candy color. And this paint's kind of bright too, here on the blue. And just imagine when this car was new and sitting on the dealer showroom or what. Now see, this one here has rear suicide doors on it, I see. As does this one. Look at the big sun visor. This is a 1962 Ashley, if you're familiar with those. This is the Thunderbird room. And I don't know if they got one of every color that was offered when they started making the T-Birds again. But that's what it kind of looks like here. Yeah, here's one of the original T-Birds that started it all, 1955 model. There's a lot of displays in here that aren't really auto related. Here's a general store. And it looks like maybe an electronics repair shop or something there. Look at all the old radios he's got on the shelf behind him there. I think this is just some type of military vehicle somebody created. It looks like an aircraft fuselage that they have turned into a vehicle here. I see they got some rockets on the side. Looks like the last room that you enter is the military pavilion. So let's go in here and look around. Got a wide variety of Jeeps in here, it looks like. Older military cars over there. This is interesting. Here's a Volkswagen Bug that they have turned into a truck. Now, Dezerland is more than just a auto museum. They have a lot of other things here. Here's an indoor go-kart track. And there's a lot of cars on display that you don't have to pay to go into the museum to see. And I'll walk around and show you some of those. Just like here's Alfred E. Newman in the, is that Nash Metropolitan car he's driving there. We're here through these ropes are where you pay to go into the museum. And as you can see, all these cars here are out in the open. You can just walk by and take a look before you go back into the area where you have to pay. Right here where you enter at, if you go over to the right, this makes a circle right here, and I'm gonna walk around there and show you some of the cars that are just on display around the circle. Activities right here, there's game rooms, pool tables, arcade, 2 arcades that I've seen. A tank that they have on display here. There's a big Chrysler on display here in the hallway. Somebody has took the side of a 57 Chevrolet and mounted it on the wall up there, looks like. Here in the hallway, they've got some displays of the cars that were used in the Flintstones movie. Now there's another area that is closed off. It says American Classics on here, but the cage is down and the lights are off in this room, so I don't know why I can't go into this area today. Right through those gates there. Here's a big Olds 88, probably late 50s. There's a Dodge. I like the way those eyebrows come up over the headlights there. This red one here is a big Mercury, somewhere in the probably early 60s. The green one here is a Packard. These are Kaiser. Now these are actually just out in the hallway right here. Little car that you saw in Harry Potter. Really have a huge arcade. And like I say, I saw another one up the way there, I think. And these are the cars that you saw at the very beginning of the video as I walked down through here. And you can't see them out in the open. So if you ever come here, this is where you'll start at. And if you don't want to pay to go in, you can see quite a few cars just on display out here, I guess to entice you to go into the museum. Well, if you made it to the end here, I thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're not a subscriber, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe and hit that like button. But until next time, may God bless you, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.